Today we're going to read the story The Gruffalo's Child. It's written by Julia Donaldson and it's illustrated by Axel Scheffler. Okay, now if you're wondering what that noise is, today Ziggy's come to join us when we're reading. I'm going to tell him to be quiet. Okay, enjoy the story. The Gruffalo's Child. The Gruffalo said that no Gruffalo should ever step foot in the deep dark wood. Why not? Why not? Because if you do, the big bad mouse will be after you. I met him once, said the Gruffalo. I met him a long, long time ago. What does he look like? Tell us, Dad. Is he terribly big and terribly bad? The Gruffalo's child's holding Stickman. There they are in their cave. I can't quite remember, the Gruffalo said. Then he thought for a minute and scratched his head. The big bad mouse is terribly strong, and his scaly tail is terribly long. His eyes are like pools of terrible fire, and his terrible whiskers are tougher than wire. Birds can stand on his whiskers. Look, his eyes. Oh my gosh, the Gruffalo's child looks really scared. One snowy night, when the Gruffalo snored when he's asleep, the Gruffalo's child was feeling bored. The Gruffalo's child was feeling brave, so she tiptoed out of the Gruffalo cave. The snow fell fast and the wind blew wild. Into the wood went the Gruffalo's child. She looks really excited. Aha, oh, a trail in the snow. Whose is this trail and where does it go? A tail poked out of a log pile house. Could this be the tail of the big bad mouse? Wonder who lives in the log pile house. What animal has a tail like that? Out slid the creature. His eyes were small and he didn't have whiskers. No, none at all. I wonder what creature this is. You're not the mouse. Not I, said the snake. He's down by the lake eating Gruffalo cake. The snow fell fast and the wind blew wild. I'm not scared, said the Gruffalo's child. Aha, oh, marks in the snow. Whose are these claw marks? Where do they go? Two eyes gleamed out of a treetop house. Could these be the eyes of the big bad mouse? Whose eyes are those? Who lives in the treetop house? Down flew the creature. His tail was short, and he didn't have whiskers of any sort. You're not the mouse. True-hoo, not I, but he's somewhere eating Gruffalo pie. The snow fell fast and the wind blew wild. I'm not scared, said the Gruffalo's child. She looks a bit scared, looks a bit frightened. Aha, oh-ho, a track in the snow. Whose is this track and where does it go? Whiskers at last and an underground house. Could this be the home of the big bad mouse? There's the whiskers. Is this going to be the home of the underground mouse? Out slunk the creature. His eyes weren't fiery. His tail wasn't scaly. His whiskers weren't wiry. You're not the mouse. Oh no, not me. He's under a tree drinking Gruffalo tea. It's all a trick, said the Gruffalo's child as she sat on a stump where the snow lay piled. I don't believe in the big bad mouse. She's feeling very sad now. She can't find it. But here comes a little one, a little mouse, out of his house. Not big, not bad, but a mouse at least. You'll taste good as a midnight feast. She wants to eat the mouse. Look what the mouse has made here. I wonder what that is. Wait, said the mouse, before you eat. There's a friend of mine that you ought to meet. If you'll let me hop onto a hazel twig, I'll beckon my friend so bad and big. Ooh, she's going to call at the big bad mouse. The Gruffalo's child unclenched, so let go her fist. The big bad mouse, so he does exist, he is real. The mouse hopped onto the hazel tree. He beckoned, then said, just wait and see. Out came the moon, it was bright and round. A terrible shadow fell onto the ground. Who's this? Oh my gosh. Who is this creature so big, bad and strong? His tail and his whiskers are terribly long. His ears are enormous, and over his shoulder he carries a nut as big as a boulder. There it is. Look at Gruffalo's child, she's jumping, she's so scared. The big bad mouse, yelled the Gruffalo's child. The mouse jumped down from the twig and smiled. Look, she's running away. Aha! Who? Prints in the snow. Whose are these footprints? Where do they go? Whose are these footprints now? The footprints led to the Gruffalo cave. They must be the Gruffalo's child's footprints. Where the Gruffalo's child was a bit less brave. The Gruffalo's child was a bit less bored. She's happy now. She's with her daddy. And the Gruffalo snored and snored and snored, fast asleep. The end. Thanks for listening. See you tomorrow. Bye.